I would hope that he would take the admonishment from the Speaker and the clear approbation of this House to reflect on the way in which he is approaching his role.
Now, shall we treat the Tories like the Nazis? Confused? Well, you won't be in the end, but in this video we're heading into the House of Commons for topicals on the 22nd of April 2025, where Shadow Justice Minister Robert Jenrick was questioning the Justice Minister Shabana Mahmood on the independence of independent judges.
Mr. Speaker, Greg O'Callaghan is a serving immigration judge who decides asylum and deportation appeals. It took nothing more than a basic Google search to uncover his past comments that the Conservative Party should be treated the same way as Nazis and cancer. As a sitting judge, he's publicly supported Labour's plans to scrap the Rwanda scheme and for illegal entry into the United Kingdom to be decriminalised. Does the Lord Chancellor believe this is compatible with judicial impartiality? And if not, what does she intend to do about it?
Let me say to him, when people might have complaints to make about judges, there is a placed mechanism for them to do so by making a complaint to the Judicial Complaints Office. If he wishes to make a complaint, he can do so. What I'm not going to do is indulge in personal, effectively doxing of judges, not when judges are simply doing their job of applying the law in the cases that appear before them. If there are complaints to be made about judicial conduct, I'm sure the Shadow Lord Chancellor knows how to go about doing it.
Can I just say we have to be careful on what we're doing, and we're not stepping into an area we should be. We're not meant to criticise judges, and this House wouldn't do so. And I'm sure we'd like to change the tone. Roy Jenrick.
Well, Mr. Speaker, it is important that judges and the manner in which they are appointed is properly scrutinised in this House, and I won't shy away from that. Mr. Speaker, Helen Pitcher was forced to resign in disgrace as the chair of the Criminal Cases Review Commission after a formal panel found that she'd failed in her duties during one of the worst miscarriages of justice in recent memory. But she's still in charge of judicial appointments, despite judges appearing in the media every week now for their activism. Her commission has failed to conduct the most basic checks on potential judges, either out of sheer incompetence or out of sympathy with their hard-left open borders views. The commission is broken and is bringing the independence of the judiciary into disrepute. How much longer will it take for the Justice Secretary to act and to remove the chair of this commission from her position and defend the independence and reputation of the judiciary?
I'm afraid he can't elide the process for the appointment of judges with a wider attack on the independence of the judiciary. I would hope that he would take the admonishment from the Speaker and the clear approbation of this House to reflect on the way in which he is approaching his role. If there are complaints to be made about judicial conduct, there is already a robust process in place to do so, and if the Shadow Chancellor wants to avail himself of that, I'm sure, given how active he is, he'll be happy to do so. What is completely improper is to take his position in this House to indulge in a wider attack of the judiciary at a time when we know that judicial security has been compromised.
Order, please. It is topicals with other members to get in. It's a very... Tension's running high. Let's just see if we can calm them down with the integers.
Now, a man who's nicknamed Honest Bob, because he's not been known for being honest, thinks he has the moral fibre to criticise others. A man who's involved in a very dodgy deal with Richard Desmond and told Home Office staff to paint over children's murals in a detention centre for child asylum seekers because it might look too homely for them, seems to think he has the right to criticise a judge who said that his party should be treated like the Nazis or cancer. Well, Honest Bob, if you don't want to be treated like Nazis, maybe you should stop acting like Nazis then. Just a thought. His attack on Helen Pitcher is rich coming from him and the behaviour of the government he has been involved in. He may actually have a valid point, I've no idea. But for his party and himself, certainly ain't the ones that should be making it, because where was his independence when Boris Johnson was partying like it was 1999 while everyone else was following the rules that his party had set? And if you want to talk about her reputation, Honest Bob, where was your damning attack on Lettuce Liz as she was crashing the economy? Where was your criticism of our Dizzy Lizzie and Spaffer Johnson for being wholly unfit to be Prime Minister, Bob? Also, I'd love to know, what does he mean by activism and hard left views on open borders? Clearly another leadership pitch, Honest Bob. Watch your back, Kamikaze, he's coming for you. Now, this just proves that our Honest Bob will be just as bad as our Kamikaze bad enough is as leader of the opposition, just as toxic and just as ridiculous, as well as just as arrogant. Fancy thinking, after the reputation that he's made for himself, he thinks he has the entitlement to criticise others because they have said hurty words about the party he represents and the cruel policies they want. Spoken like a true Nazi. But what do you guys think? Should we treat the Tories like the Nazis? Let me know down below, and if you enjoy everything House of Commons, Select Committee meetings and anything political, please give us a like and subscribe, and I shall bid you farewell and take care, my friends.